Hi there, in this video we wanted to show you how to schedule using Social Report and give you a general introduction to how scheduling features work. In fact, I'm logged into my project right now called My Business. I have a couple of social profiles connected here. I have a Twitter profile and I have a Facebook page connected. So at this point I can take a look at my calendar, so you can use this calendar button here, and my calendar is empty, there is nothing scheduled. So at this point, I can go ahead and begin scheduling by either clicking on schedule a post or just using the simple compose button. I can even click on the calendar date. And we'll also talk about using the browser plugins and mobile apps as we go along with this video. So initially, I'm just going to click on compose. At this point, I'm going to design my message. I'm going to include a link. And as I include the link, I get to preview everything about the link. I can even access a media library to possibly swap out a graphic to use, something else. I can, by the way, also use a video, right? We do allow video uploads. I can even connect one of the external folders, OneDrive, Dropbox, Google Drive, whichever one is your favorite, at which point you can basically just utilize the images right from your connected folder. Which can be convenient, right, if you are sharing maybe or keeping a lot of your media items on shared folders. And at that point, so you can also target the specific profiles here. And you do have a few options, saving as drafts, to come back to that later. Add to queue, we're going to talk about that in just a second. Publish now sets up the message to go out right away. So if you were to publish now, which I'll do, and this post ends up on my calendar, it's basically scheduled to go out in just about a minute here. And as you can see, it's light blue right now. So, and it's scheduled. So as soon as it publishes, which should be right, any second now, the status is going to turn darker blue. And you also have some other status colors here in review, right? If you are subjecting your post to review and approval, rejected, right? Should the end result of the review be rejection, and errors, right? For any possible issues with your message. So I'm going to refresh this a couple times. All right, so now as you can see, the message turned lighter blue, which means it's been scheduled. And by the way, if you wish to receive notifications on posts, you can certainly turn them on. All of the notification settings are located under my account. At this point, I can basically click on it. If I want to see how the post turned out, I can basically click on these date links here, and I'll see this is the post and how it looks on Facebook. And I'll see by clicking on the link right next to Twitter as to how this message looks on Twitter. All right, let's take a look at a few more options here. So I'm going to click on compose one more time. I'm going to share a link to an article that I found from a blog. It's the blog that we like, Social Media Examiner. And I'm going to basically target my profiles. I'm going to click on advanced options this time. So first of all, I get to the first option, which is add to queue. Queuing gives you essentially ability to design your sort of posting schedule ahead of time, where you can basically go in and specify the days and times on each day when you would like content to be scheduled. This way, whenever you're going in and scheduling, instead of having to pick, like in a post later where you can be able to actually pick the specific time, with add to queue, the system will do the determination for you, right? So it figures out that the next possible slot is tomorrow at noon, it seems, actually a couple days away at noon. And that's based on the posting schedule. There is a separate video that talks about posting schedules and how to take advantage of figuring out the best possible times to schedule. Highly recommend that you take a look at that. Post now gives you ability to schedule right away. Post later gives you ability to pick the time. Post recurring gives you ability to specify the repeat interval. For example, something every 2 hours, total of 5 posts, right? Gives you ability to repeat your message. And optimal time essentially looks at the last 3 months of engagement and figures out the best possible options. And you can potentially just say, you know what, I would like to take one of those. Next, gives you more advanced options, and this is where you can designate something to be an evergreen. There is a separate video that talks about evergreens and what that is. In short, it's your ability to repurpose, right, repeat, recycle your content, which is an invaluable content strategy for any social media manager. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that video separately. Link framing is your ability to effectively take that third-party article that we are doing right about now and put your header across the top when users click on it. So once this post goes out, I'm going to come back to this and show you how that turned out. Call to action and other Facebook check-ins or Twitter card options, certainly something that you may consider. Uh, Enabling or disabling link shortening. Link shortening is automatic. If for whatever reason you want to disable it, this will be the place. Advanced audience targeting. If you do need to make sure that your post is targeted towards a specific audience, this will be the place to make those selections. And once you schedule, the post is now again on your schedule. Again, I actually added it to the queue. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to drag it to today. All right, now the post is now published. I'm going to click on it and I will preview the message. I mean, it looks almost the same as the one we did before, with a slight exception. Remember the link frames you used? So what happens now when users click on the link, right, what they basically see, they see the link, right, but right across the top, they actually see what's called a link frame. Link frames are your ability to put your logo and your call to action across the top of every link you share, specifically, more importantly, when those links come from third-party sources. So in this specific project, I actually pre-designed some link frames, and this is my link frame, and there's a designer here. You can make it much fancier than I did. Change logos, change call to actions, change the link where it links to, change the button color, and that would be the header that your posts are essentially getting, like the one right above here. Again, there's a separate video that I'll kind of goes into more detail as to how to set link frames up, but I just wanted to bring them up in this demo as well. Additional scheduling choices would allow you to do bulk scheduling. This is where not only can you bulk upload using Excels and Google Sheets, but also go out and pull up content, let's say on fitness, for example, from a third-party blog, and bring it in and possibly schedule right away. Alternatively, you can also pull up content from somebody else's or some other Instagram profile, Facebook pages, right? And essentially, you can come up with a lot of content pretty quickly. Again, there's a separate video on this subject under bulk scheduling. And then one more choice that you have here is ability to syndicate content. This is where you kind of reverse roles, where you go in and say, you know what, social report, I would really prefer to do this work for me. Why don't you go in and look for fitness content, right? And when you do find that fitness content, go ahead and schedule it on these profiles. And on the advanced options, you can dictate as to when the content is going to get scheduled. You can filter down the content, modify the content as it goes out. And effectively now, if we will be essentially monitoring that blog for you, right, and producing content for you all automatically. There's a good video on content syndication, which I recommend, but overall, that's the purpose. All right, very well. So we've covered a few ways of scheduling, from composing a basic message for an immediate publication to some advanced options. We covered a little bit on bulk scheduling, on content syndicating. You've seen the calendar. I briefly mentioned the browser plugin as well. So the way that works is that any website you get into and click on a button here, now you can pick your project and you can schedule right from your browser plugin. And we also offer that plugin for Firefox as well as for your mobile devices. All right, again, the purpose of this video was to give you sort of a quick introduction into scheduling, and should you have any questions or maybe we can set up a demo for you, do let us know. And again, there are other videos covering bulk scheduling, syndicating, evergreen content, posting schedules, which I highly recommend as well. All right, thank you.